Good evening and thanks for joining us for the ABC4 News at 9 on the CW30. I'm Brittany Johnson. We do begin with a 6.5 magnitude earthquake in central Idaho. It happened just a few hours ago, just before 6 o'clock, about 81 miles northeast of Boise. Now we do want to send it right over to our chief meteorologist, Dan Pope, tonight for some perspective on this earthquake. Dan?
Yeah, so this is the biggest earthquake since a 6.9 in Idaho hit near the more closer to Chalice. That one was the biggest earthquake that Idaho had seen in nearly a century. So this is the second biggest earthquake, centered about 81 miles to the northeast of Boise. We can move in a little bit closer and get an idea of the perspective of where this happened. Haley is to the south, McCall is to the northeast. And as we move in a little bit closer once again to where the epicenter was, this was right about near the Beaver Creek area. SR21 curls right here, but ironically, the center of the earthquake was on top of a creek called Shake Creek. Anyway, very major earthquake hitting and causing all kinds of shaking all the way from Great Falls, Montana to Wells, Nevada, and also Salt Lake City to Spokane and over to Boise. Boise felt it moderately. We'll have more details on our weather forecast, Brittany, coming up just a bit.
All right, thanks, Dan. Now we do want to move to the coronavirus. There are nearly 858,000 confirmed cases reported around the world. Of those, there are 178,000 complete recoveries and 42,000 deaths. In the United States, there are 189,000 confirmed cases. More than 7,000 have recovered and 3,900 have died in the U.S. A third of those deaths do come from New York State. Now here's a look at the Utah numbers tonight. There are now 5 deaths in the state. 73 people have been hospitalized and 887 COVID-19 cases confirmed by the state health department. More than 18,000 people have been tested statewide. And the state health department says there are 41 confirmed cases of COVID-19 in Weber County. ABC4's Jordan Verdadero spoke to the mayor of Ogden on how the city is handling COVID-19, and he answers some questions as to why parks remain open.
The Ogden City Mayor says Facebook Live is how he's been communicating with residents during the pandemic. He says the city relies on state conference calls for local decisions to react to COVID-19.
We've probably been on 3 or 4 a week with the lieutenant governor, so we understand what the state's directions are because they're really the experts that will help drive the policy.
Ogden City Mayor says he wants to avoid closing parks because it's the one thing that's helping residents with their mental health.
Because we're all feeling cooped up. We're all feeling the pinch of this. This is a dramatic change of lifestyle for almost everybody in the state.
There are signs like this on playgrounds saying it's closed and signs like this reminding residents to practice social distancing.
Ogden police are not out enforcing social distancing. They've got enough to do in managing the city already. That's not been a directive from the health department.
Caldwell says he hopes residents will take the pandemic seriously on their own.
Really, I know there's some people that come and play pickleball still over here, but not very many, so I think most people are real conscious about it.
Caldwell says there isn't much of a threat of community spread right now and not enough cases, which is why the city is only following the governor's recommendations and not issuing its own orders as other cities have. Mayor Caldwell says he'll continue to work with the state health department and take a more concentrated approach on Ogden if needed. Now, if you do choose to use the parks, please make sure you're practicing social distancing and washing your hands. In Ogden, I'm Jordan Verdadero, ABC4 News.
Salt Lake County Mayor Jenny Wilson is clearing up some misinformation regarding immigrants in the county. In a statement released today, she reassures immigrants in Salt Lake County that their health and safety matter. She said in part, there are no checkpoints and there is no cause for anyone to carry a specific letter to verify their place of employment. She also encourages all residents to follow health orders issued by state and local leaders. This announcement does come on the second day of Salt Lake County's stay-at-home order. And misinformation has led to xenophobic attacks against Asian Americans around the country. Now, some say it's happening in our own backyard. Weber State University wants to tackle this issue head on, and ABC4's Rosie Nguyen has the story.
As COVID-19 impacts communities around the world, here at home, Asian Americans face more than just the fear of contracting the virus. Officials at Weber State University say xenophobic behavior against Utahns of Asian descent are on the rise.
So the primary thing that I'm seeing we're hearing is that people are associating the pandemic with Chinese individuals.
In a letter addressed to campus on Friday, Andrews says, quote, 2 Chinese students were sprayed with Lysol at a Cedar City Walmart and told to go home. A Chinese family was sworn at and told to go back to China in their own yard. Another Chinese woman was running on one of our beautiful trails when another woman picked up a stick and hit her.
It's really oppressive and hurting somebody who is simply just living their life and trying to survive the pandemic like anybody else.
Christian Pomsavan, president of the Asian Student Involvement Association at Weber State, says the rise in xenophobic incidents is creating fear among their community.
I feel like a lot of my family members are kind of like in this panic right now where they don't want to go outside or they don't want to interact or do anything because they're afraid that, they will have racist remarks.
Andrews is now working with Pomsavan and other groups to urge the public to condemn this type of behavior, offer support, and help dispel misinformation.
We love all of the members of our community. We welcome everyone. We all belong here. And if people are attacking you, please tell someone.
Reporting for ABC4 News, I'm Rosie Nguyen.
Local grocery stores are taking numerous steps to keep their shoppers and their employers safe during this outbreak. Today, Harmons, which operates 17 stores along the Wasatch Front and Washington County, announced they will take employees' temperatures when they arrive to work. Anyone registering 100 degrees or higher will be sent home and told to call their local health care provider. Tomorrow, they will also begin distributing free digital thermometers at their 8 stores with drive-through pharmacies. Harmons has also installed plexiglass barriers at checkout stands and has Associated Foods, which oversees grocery retailers Macy's, Lynn's, Dan's Fresh Market, and others. And as we work to protect ourselves and others from the COVID-19 outbreak here, the topic of masks has come up for debate. Haley Hendricks has why it could end up being another measure of protection.
In recent days, officials continue to say no, you should not wear a mask unless you're sick. And this includes homemade masks that many are making out of fabric. But an anonymous federal official told the Washington Post the CDC is considering recommending the general public to wear masks when outside the home. And during a task force briefing with President Trump Monday, the question of people wearing non-medical masks was addressed.
We are in the process of talking about things. I saw his suggestion on that, so we'll take a look at it. For a period of time, not forever. I mean, we want our country back. We're not going to be wearing masks forever, but it could be for a short period of time.
ABC4 News asked the Utah Department of Health if Utahns should take precautions and wear masks in public.
To my knowledge, there hasn't been any conversations on that level, definitely not at the state and not at the national level at this point for wearing face masks in communities where there is not widespread sustained community transmission. So in Utah right now, we aren't at the point where face masks for the general public would help prevent the spread of disease.
Dr. Angela Dunn, the state's epidemiologist, says for the average person, wearing a mask is not necessary. But she says healthcare providers and anyone who could be infected should wear masks. Reporting in Salt Lake County, Haley Hendricks, ABC4 News.
And due to safety concerns and uncertainty related to COVID-19, the Utah Arts Festival has decided to postpone the 2020 festival until June 2021. The reason for pushing it out an entire year, they say, is, quote, delaying the festival until the late summer or early fall isn't as easy as it might seem. There are many moving parts, many people, and many factors to consider. Coming up, the University of Utah is beginning research trials to find out how to prevent any future coronavirus outbreaks. And we take a live look out across the Salt Lake Valley tonight. Dan Pope is going to be back after the break with your full pinpoint weather forecast.